name is Mike. Introducing the brothers with voices. As I was saying, I am the chief whip of the brothers with voices. And I'm here to make sure that you all get a great show. Although personally, I would rather just go and watch live here misread. But I wonder what's going to happen. Are these guys going to be entertaining enough? And really, do their opinions really matter? I mean, we'll see. Anasamani gandono party. No. Guys,
Hey guys, how are you doing today? Oh man, guys, pilot episode, amazing stuff, guys. What we've achieved in the past 3 weeks, discussing all these things, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, and the benefit of what we're trying to do for our brothers and sisters back home, and all over the world. At the end of the day, discussing all these things, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, and the benefit of what we're trying to do for our brothers and sisters back home, and all over the world. At the end of the day, so ideally,
I am back home.
Yeah, the guy was back home.
Putting it out there, man.
Well, out here in Dubai, things are easier. To be honest, the lockdowns are easing up, so it's getting better. And I don't know about you guys, where you guys are, but yeah, it's getting better. And the good thing is, the one thing that actually really kept me entertained was the comics in Zimbabwe. To be very honest, it really it's a lot of data and a lot of Wi-Fi to watch their videos constantly, but it's fun. Those guys are hilarious. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys know any of these comics? Have you guys ever listened to or watched any of their shows?
There's a guy called Nigel, the comic pastor. He's he's not Nigel the comic pastor, but it's Nigel the pastor something. Well, he's a very funny dude. He I don't know. He has this whole charisma that he has, and he caught an audience by this whole being a pastor. You know how these modern pastors are these days, whereby they just rock up at your house and they're looking for money, or they're looking for offering, or they're asking you, why didn't you come to church on Sunday? Because he was waiting for your offering. You know what I mean?
I saw that one.
Wait, is that his thing? I haven't watched this guy. Is that his thing? Like he's not comic pastor, right?
Okay,
he's not comic pastor.
And there's comic pastor, and then there's Nigel. Right? Yeah.
And there's Nigel, the comic pastor.
Something like that.
It's weird like that. It's a mix like that.
Absolutely. Cool. I'm with you.
I'll actually get the real name for the sake of this guy's brand, right? And then I'll just tell you in a few minutes. But he's a very funny dude, and he relates to quite a lot of Zimbabweans, because that's actually what's happening these days, right? Only that he's got this funny character, and he plays the parts as well. He's when someone is trying to act, and when someone is just a natural, he's that guy.
Yeah, you can see it.
So I would probably just watch him over Kevin Hart. I mean, Kevin Hart is great, but I can relate more to him than Kevin Hart.
That's very true.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the thing about Zim comics right now, and there's a span of them, bro. A lot of them are either doing those short skits, or they're doing long 5 to 10 minute videos. But there's a lot of them, and the cool thing about them is that it's all relatable. And you know what they're talking about. Kevin Hart will come here and start talking about American politics. Yeah, we kind of know what's going on with Donald Trump. He's a douche, whatever, and everything. But we're not there. So we're
not on that level. We're not on that level. No,
not
we
on
don't
that
understand.
level. Yeah,
exactly. We're not on that level of fun.
And you're talking about naturals. There's this guy I bumped to. Actually, when I was just going through comics, because I've got my niche of people I always listen to in Zim. But there's this guy Anonzi, is Jock Vikela. I think from
that guy is funny.
That dude is a natural.
That guy is funny, guys.
He's hilarious, bro. I watched a couple of his skits. In fact, just the whole establishment, Magamba TV, those guys are funny.
Yeah.
That's where one of my favorites, King Kandoro, comes from. That's where he
yeah.
started off as well.
Yeah.
So King is fire, and after him is this dude, man. Doc Vikela is
But
just.
wait! I need to cut you off. I
natural.
need to cut you off here first, because dude, you
What?
can't be talking about all these dudes, and we can't talk about your skit that got over 1 million views worldwide,
God.
bro.
Yeah,
What are you
dude.
talking about?
That was
What are you talking
nah.
about?
That's you see. This is the difference. I'm not a comedian. I'll never claim to be one. Although
No,
we'll wait and see how that goes.
like that,
But
but see,
that was funny.
yes, but you, like, no comedian started off knowing that they were a comedian, right? It just started off when they created something without thinking it was going to be something. It was just, you guys were probably bored that day, and you guys had a soup pool, and
Nah,
your wife
we were
was probably
drunk.
somewhere else, and you were drunk, and then you decided to do something which you thought was going to be funny, but you didn't really think that it was going to be that funny,
That funny.
and then
Dude,
it blew
even
up.
when, like, literally, I finished editing it because we did the video. I finished editing it. In fact,
Yeah.
both of the videos. Finished editing them. Then I was just like, guys, let me send this on the group. It was
Oh yeah, you did the Avengers one as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we did that. It was just like, it's fun. Let's move it on. Let's move it along. Next thing we posted, boom, 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 boom. What? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was fun. It was fun though. I won't lie.
Can you tell us which characters you were? Were you like for the wrestling one? Which character were you? And for the Avengers one,
Okay,
which
so
character
for the
were you?
wrestling one, me and my brother started that one. So my brother was The Rock and I was Triple H.
Yeah, he whooped
So
your
that's
ass
why
a
it gives
bit.
me the rock bottom into the wall. Yeah. Hey,
your ass.
it is what it is. Older brothers will always win the fight,
Yeah.
man.
And then for the Avengers, which character were you?
I was Black Panther, but there's the guy who did the voiceover. He thought I was Spider-Man, but no, I was Black Panther. That's why the Wakanda. Yeah. Then he's like, overweight Spider-Man. I'm
How
like,
do you
bruh,
confuse Black
what's up with that?
Panther for Spider-Man? How do you do that?
I don't know. That was I am Dulo. I don't know how he did that, but it is what it is. I just even I created a page for comics, and I just called him Overweight Spider-Man because it just made sense for me. Yeah, it's funny, man.
Wow.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
funny.
that sounds great.
But guys, what do you think about? So I said Nigel, and you said Doc Vikela. Doc Vikela is really there. His kids that like this kids that he's doing these days. Mukuru and Mukuru. Yeah.
Hey.
Guys.
You know what?
Guys,
He's got look.
guys.
He's got look.
And you can do the accent as
dumbbell.
well and the look, eh?
He's good, and he's
good.
good. Even the way he uses his Shona in there, like
Yeah.
I'm not
What's that guy's name? What's his name? What's his name? The guy who's being the killer or King Kandoro?
Yeah,
the
that's
one.
also King Kandoro also did a
King
few.
Kandoro is doing the same thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's interesting. Like, I mean, I didn't know some of you.
yams.
Oh, that's insane. Okay, all right. For me, I like this guy based in the UK. I think I know the pizza, the white guy who does his skits in Shona.
Is he the recent dude, the white guy who's just doing skits in Shona, the white guy? He was standing in front of a car the other time.
Oh, the small
but then-
boy, the farm boy.
No, not the farm boy. No, not the farm boy. That's a tiny guy. Pizza is
Okay.
big, and then he's got a beard and everything. Like, you know, us beard guys, we stick together. We support each other. Look, it is what it is. It is what
Come
it is.
on.
Guys, so guys, this is
It is what it
my
is.
veranda, man. This is my veranda. My veranda,
Ah,
my
to be
big
the
yard,
same
and I'm going to big yard. My veranda. So I got to eat.
It's like, I don't go.
You trim the edges too much, buddy.
I mean,
Guys.
No,
I mean, so for me, that was more of my watching these skits and, you know, getting to know some of them, you know, like in that manner really was a way for me to keep myself entertained during this lockdown. And, you know, I think that's how we came up with this idea at the end of the day. I think when we discussed it, we were like, you know what, we want to actually give a different flavor to all of these things, you know, be a different type of flavor. And I don't know, what do you guys think about, you know, the process that we're taking and the procedure and what we're trying to give our fellow Zimbabweans and all that? What's your take on this?
I think probably from a lockdown, you know, point of view, right? It's a thing that's affecting a lot of people. So the only thing that will, you know, make people sane is their mental state, is keeping their mental state, you know, sharpened. So and it's only by being positive, right? And by being positive, that's when you start seeing certain things that, you know, make you smile and that give you a little bit of hope in life. And that's where these comics actually, you know, play a very big role, just by making people laugh, right? Just by making people laugh, it just gives you that relief that, hey, there's so there is more to life, right? And apart from the comics, I think it's that time for self-development. It's that time for self-evaluation. We've been stuck in this very busy world for a very long time that you don't even know what's happening. It's time to just sit down and really, you know, reorganize yourself and think about what you really want to do in life. It's a standstill for everyone, right? Before I become a drifter, you know, Batsy, what do you think, man?
Yeah, no, I think I'm with you 100% there. I think, especially with the content, the comics have helped create this because everyone's online right now, so they've created this hub where you can just get everything that you want online. Like looking at Ray Vines on Instagram, you go there, you see all this funny shit,
that boy is funny.
you know, so like just it's helping us to see a lot of talent that's coming out of Zim. That's one thing. I mean, you got a lot of people who have been there for a long time, and I'm not boss, not what, but there's a lot of people just coming up from nowhere. And you're like, that nigga funny though, right? You know, so it's making a lot of people realize their talents. It's making a lot of people tap into a lot of Zim stuff that's pretty dope because it's relatable and it's right in front of us. And again, I guess a lot of people went through that exactly what you're talking about. They went through that self-evaluation, realized I got something that I'm sitting on. Let me bring it out. It's the time. There's no better time than now to actually bring it out because everyone's going to be on their phones, you know, online, because what else are you going to do when you're on lockdown? Exactly, so I think it's a very important time to evaluate.
Nothing.
And you know, one of the most amazing things these comics have done as well is that you find, as you were saying, Batsy, that a lot of different comics are popping up constantly. I mean, do you know what I've noticed is that, for example, Nigel, when we're talking about Nigel, until I got recruit one comic pastor and come, let's do this together. You know, you're so funny. Let's do this together. So one thing that these comics are doing, which is very, very important, is that they are actually recruiting other people that they believe have talent, and that is Ubuntu. You know, you know what I mean? And I believe that is one of the strongest things that they're doing. So on top of uniting the Zimbabwean community worldwide, like internationally, they're also helping Vachu Vachiri Kumba, who are still trying to get some exposure, still trying to get recognized and everything like that. And I believe that is one of the strongest aspects of our generation, where we're like, okay, we can still help each other when we work to help each other constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's the same thing like with us, with everything that we have been doing, we've been discussing and everything. You find that we're actually building each other every single day. You know what I mean?
True.
And I think that is one of the best things I've actually tried to achieve, you know, in a very long time. So I don't know, what's your take on you know the positivity or the negativity that the comics actually do give at the end of the day?
Let me jump in on that one, because what I'm thinking is, not only like support wise, not only are they supporting each other as comics and just pushing each other's brands forward, but you'll notice a lot of corporates are coming into the game as well. Hey, like I'm seeing Ray Vines has got a lot of people, a lot of companies coming in for him to do skits for them. You know, you've got Nash Paints. I've seen a lot of videos like posts and stuff like that, where they're pushing these agendas forward on social media as well. So there's a lot of support from corporates in Zim as well, trying to push these guys forward, because this is like dope advertising for them as well, you know. And it's funny. Everyone's gonna be there, and you even like not even comedy, but those shows. And now what do you want with more? You'd see like adverts coming in there, Zim people trying to help each other out. So I think that's pretty big, pretty dope as well. And like people like Carl Joshua Nyube, he was in the game for a long time. His business sense as well is pushing a lot. Like if you see HSTV, I think he's the director of that or something like that. But his business sense is also on point as well. So they're helping new comics to come up as well and realize their potential. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So then we come from. I like the whole point of how, you know, in Zim back in the day, it's either you were going to be an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or you're a CA, or you know you're I don't know, a marketer, or you know, or you're a businessman. You know, It's you know, it's either you had to, you know, introduce yourself with something fancy, or else we don't know you. You can't say you're a comedian, right? Back in the day, that was like, you know, nothing. So it was very hard for, you know, like a young comedian to come up and see how they could monetize that whole moment. Because, I mean, how do you introduce yourself at a family event? So, Shika, my name is Kudza Ndoro. I'm a comedian. I don't
Imagine how Gringo had to introduce himself to some don't Gringo.
Guys,
like,
guys.
like how, man? Gringo, and the word defined people Gringo, Paraffin, like the sets, no my comedians,
Yeah. And you know, after that whole era, after Anana Mukadluta and Paraffin, then came Gringo, right? He came very hard. But
don't forget, you guys don't disrespect Timina Bonzo, okay? Those guys are legends
exactly.
in my book.
Yes. So Timina
Bonzo, I'm proud of that.
And
you need to share
Gringo.
that.
Yeah. Was that not the same time though?
It's around about the same. Timon slightly after another Gringo, but yeah, it's around about the same time.
Yeah, another team was like slightly after, right? And
yeah,
I don't know who else was there. And I'm Tirio fans. I was around Paraffin time, right?
Yeah, that's way back.
Yeah, that's way back. Yeah.
Then
you're showing your age, bro. You're showing your age.
That's so previous to us, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna stop with the names now because that was European deep. So after Anana Timina Bonzo and Gringo, it became very hard to monetize that whole moment. It became very hard to say I'm a comedian and I'm doing this because even people were not even watching ZBC anymore.
Yeah.
No one was watching that stuff.
That's the thing. I think the platform was ZBC at that time.
Exactly.
So at that time, and there was a period when ZBC, for me, in my mind, it practically died, bro. Like there was no content anymore. So for you to then say you're on TV, everyone had a whiz. You got to decode here. Whiz stick, exactly. Everyone had a whiz stick. So no one cared about ZBC at a certain point. So for you to be pushing your content there was hard, and that was the only platform for comics or anything like that at that point, in my opinion. So I guess now, because the platforms are much wider, you've got a lot more people doing their thing.
And I think you mentioned something very important earlier on. And I'm going to give a shout out to all these comics in Zimbabwe who are doing all this and they're killing it for us, right? But if you notice one thing, we all love stand-up comedy. We love stand-up comedy like for days. We like to laugh, so we watch stand-up comedy. But have you noticed one thing? Even the Vines that they do in America, like you follow the Vines and you see them on Instagram doing their little things. One thing I notice is that our comics do not even try to follow that little trend. They've got their own different skits that relate to, like, for example, Gonyet Namagi. Oh my gosh, those guys do things we can relate to. You know what I mean? And you just think, wow, oh my god, this is amazing, and you're laughing your head off. You know what I mean? And for me, that's fucking insane what they're doing. To be very honest, exactly. And so the idea is, I think, I don't know what you guys think about it. How do you think, like, even for the people that are in the diaspora, right? How do you think we do relate to how they portray Zimbabwe and everything like that? And do you think that the guys that are in the diaspora, do you think they still relate to these skits and everything like that? Personally, I do, because I'm having fun.
Oh yeah, bro. Like most of these views on the internet, I'll tell you, they're from diaspora. Most of these views, most 100%. Of these views are from the diaspora, and it's because I'll speak for myself. I miss home that much that I don't relate to this. Okay, they're funny. The jokes here of the people that, like that, that they do here. Well, I can relate to that, but that's not where I come from. Like, I know what they're doing and I know it's funny, but I would rather be more inclined to watch what is being played back home, because right? Like the things that you can see and you're trying to explain to my fellow white friend. But because joke I told you,
Shona slaps different, bro.
Just hits different, my brother. It just hits different, bro. Yeah. That's pretty amazing. And but please give me your opinion on this.
Well, I think for diaspora, it's way more important. Can I say important? Okay, my
important. You can say important.
No, more important.
Importantest.
Importantest.
Important. I
Bro,
know my
important.
No. Listen, I think for people back home like me, I don't think I look for content that much. I don't look. I don't go onto YouTube and look for something from home because I'm here. So it's a bit different. So I'm not actively looking for it, but it's easier for me to bump into local content because I'm here. So like like live show King Kantor in December. I wanted to go to that, but it was right in my face. Like everyone locally was talking about it, so I didn't have to look for it. So stuff like that. So it's right there. So I think it's more important for people who are out of Zim, and it's more, they value it a bit more. I'm pretty sure you would know more about the comics than I do here, but I'm here, Maybe I know more personal stuff about them because, the walls and ears. But otherwise, when it comes to the content, it's doing really, really well with people out of Zim. But at the same time, not underestimating the impact it's having on locals as well. Because we're in here, we relate to it,
I believe so too. I mean, I believe there's so much opportunity for these guys to actually get more and more exposure. I mean, like, I don't think they need any more exposure. These guys get millions of views off YouTube. I mean, that's why, as you said, the corporates are getting involved. They're starting to sponsor them. They're advertising their products. So which means that they're doing something amazing. They're doing something very good. Right? I got a question for you guys. Right?
Yeah.
Basically, for me, the one comic artist who has really had an impact. I was about to say something else, but look, the one comic artist who had, okay, let me just say it because it's on my chest now, right?
Come on, say it with the chest, ass nigga.
I need a refill. But anyways, what I wanted to say is that the one comic person who really had an impact for me was Comic Pasta himself. I find that some of his stuff and some of his material has been very inspirational to me. Even though he's saying stuff in a funny way, I believe that he's always passing a message as well, right? And his messages are sometimes very good, sometimes very clear, and it's material where you can say, I can relate to, number one. Number two, it's got an impact on my life because I can use what he has said in that skit of his to actually do something. So for me, that he's been he's had an impact on my life. Which artists do you say had impact on you guys?
Yes.
Tough question, eh? Yeah, tough question. I got you now.
Nigga got me thinking.
Bati, you can go first, bro.
I'm changing.
Yeah. I can go first. Actually, I think if I was to pick a comic who inspired me the most, it would probably be King Kandoro. I think he's brilliant. First of all, I think he's hilarious. Secondly, I just think the one-man show that he did in December was the pinnacle of how, if you just keep grinding and you keep pushing and you keep working on your craft, you will actually make it anywhere. And he's doing great things, and he's still doing what he's doing, and he's freaking hilarious. I think you're talking about Comic Pasta. He had to reinvent himself, so I think that's something that, like, now he's doing those they're hilarious comic awards,
Yeah, that's actually really funny.
Hilarious, and he's touching on all the important issues and everything. Similarly with King does everything. Like, he's funny and he's topical. Everything that's happening currently is there. You do all these skits like and everything. He's funny, so, and he's relatable, and he's young. That's another cool thing about that dude. He's young as hell. So he's doing well at a young age, and when you realize your passion at a young age, that's inspirational as it is. So I'll probably say King Kando. Bless his soul, he's a bad one.
I'm going to kind of segment it in a very complicated way. Okay, it won't be. It's complicated to me.
Okay. It's going to be very interesting.
Well, I'm going to say it like this. There are a couple of comedians that have made impacts to me, like, on a different level. So the reason why I like Comic Pasta, because I started watching the comic, the monthly comic awards when they actually started. And then I saw Comic Pasta monetizing that whole moment. and getting people to come in and putting their ads, and like this week we've got this person, or this month we've got this person.
It's all about the
bag, bro. So that other comedians saw a space where they could, join. So he's a very big guy, I would say right now. I'm telling you, and very, very, very big guy. And then there would be this guy called Mfana Wacho, Nigel.
Nigel, yeah.
Nigel's, I don't need to, he doesn't need to do anything. Nigel can walk from here to the others, I don't know, like 50 meters, and I can start laughing because of probably how he's walking. Like he's just that guy, bro. He's just that guy. That guy is just, I don't know what he has, but I don't know.
I need to check this nigga's stuff out, bro. I haven't seen
Yeah,
stuff.
bro. And then there's a guy called Long John, guys.
Long John.
That just sounds funny, man.
I'm just gonna laugh at the name alone, bro. Long John.
Right,
because he's long.
What's the name?
Okay, no, he's tall. That's why he's called Long John. That's a very that's a bad way of saying it. But anyway, it's okay. Okay, guys. Okay, so he's a very funny guy, but this guy has got the potential to be international. He already is international, actually. He won the Steve Harvey competition thing, I think, the popularity. He is international already, actually. Kocha he's going to be. He's international. So on that level, I like Long John. On the international level. That is wrong. To say.
Oh, you like Long John?
Shout out to you, Long John.
Oh, you just.
I hope this goes viral for the sake of this guy, man. You're a legend, Long John. You're a legend. The Pioneers. I wanted to say, Bati, the Pioneers. Who mentioned Carl Joshua Ngube?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, Bati mentioned Carl Joshua.
The Pioneers, like Carl Joshua Ngube, where I would say I've never gone to his live show. I've probably seen his shows on YouTube, a couple of them, but he had a certain niche of people that were following him or that follow him. He has a certain niche of people. He's a very funny guy. He is international standard too. I guess he's just ended up doing something else. I think he's still in comedy too, but he's now a chef or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's
entertainment as well. Entertainment is. I think he's doing really well in entertainment.
He's still in there too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would imagine so, because he's a natural guy too. I guess he would. I don't know. His jokes would be more of the intellectual jokes. Yeah, more of the intellectual jokes and stuff.
Personally, I am not mature. So, he's not my cup of tea. I've been to a couple of live shows, but he's not my cup of tea. I think he's funny, but he's not like ribs hurting, hilarious funny. So it's not my cup of tea. I want to laugh. I want to laugh hard. So
Dimika Mr. Funny Man, I'm not going to Mr. Funny Man. It's like obviously you want to laugh.
I want to laugh. He's dope, and I like his business sense, and I like his what he's doing entertainment wise at HSTV, everything. But as a comic, I think he was funnier earlier. It's like with Trevor Noah. I don't think Trevor Noah is as funny as he was when he started. Maybe content finishes or something, I don't know, or he needs to reinvent himself in the comic world, I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's not funny for me anymore.
Nah, he's in the money, man. It's different, it's now a controlled world. It's now a controlled world too, so it's
exactly.
It's different from when he could go and just chill in the location there in South Africa with the boys, you know what I mean? That's where you kind of pick up some of those, that's how these comics actually live. Actually, they live with actual people, and they take their content from that kind of things. But when you're now, with bodyguards everywhere, and then you've got, a script, and then you've got this, sometimes it happens like that. But he probably still can be as funny as he was before, but it's now a little bit controlled. He's now on the world stage. It's now different. Still on the comic side, I like people like Gonyet and Magi. And guys, there's this other guy, guys. I don't know his name, guys. The guy that they're acting with, guys. That guy, what's his name?
Isn't that Blalex?
I think that guy, bro. That guy is a I don't know. I don't know why I didn't mention him, but that guy is just amazing, man.
Blalex, he's also kind of funny.
Yeah, he's like spot on.
The guy with the bald head.
Yes.
Teams that don't talk about support teams that no support
yeah, that guy is just not funny, but he's also smart. He's just funny and smart, you know. Like he's on a different level, and surprisingly, he worked with Bastard TV since about, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, or since inception, I don't know. But he's been through this whole content writing thing, and then he started airing as well. So, hey man, he's a champion. You should look him up too.
Yeah.
I saw some of his stuff. He's actually kind of funny. Then there's just these weird comics. There's this really weird, like, Rasta wannabe dancer or artist who's just dancing and shaking, like, jumping around like an idiot. Have you seen his stuff? So I don't know about danger souls.
Oh, yes. I didn't
guys,
so like he's about
that's it.
He's a fool, man.
Guys.
It's art. It's art.
Guys,
that's art. That's art.
It's art. Let's do this.
It's art. It's art, bro. It's art.
That nigga weird as hell, bro. Like,
okay, I feel like we disrespected the king of comedy in Zimbabwe, right? I feel like we disrespected this dude. We haven't mentioned him, and I was trying to save him for the last part of this conversation because I don't want to keep, talking about all these comics, because tomorrow I'm going to have more news for you. It's going to be a whole different vibe again. But Kudacha Misa, guys, that boy can, that man, the way he does
my chef
guys, that guy.
My chef. My chef. That's a moment of silence.
A moment of silence. Kudacha Misa, man.
My chef.
Oh, shh.
People say like, and this comes here.
That Kudacha Misa doesn't need an introduction, bro.
It doesn't need an introduction.
We won't even need to talk a lot about it. We'll just send you the skit. Or you can just go and follow his page.
It's
not just, he's the king. I would say he's the king of voiceovers in Zim. I would say I do voiceovers myself. That guy is the king, man.
Yeah.
He did his own Will Smith and Martin Lawrence voiceover, bro. Like, I'll send you the video, bro.
The kid who comes to take Martin Lawrence's daughter out. He did this. He did this.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's him.
That's the guy, bro.
That guy. That's the.
He's funny.
Very.
Yeah. Okay.
And he created something called Rasplati. It's a character called Rasplati.
Rasplati.
I'm yet to know. I was actually watching it today. I'm yet to know how he does that, and because a lot of people would still, I don't know, bro. Like it's just no one else is doing that. I think he's based in Australia, and he's doing very well that side and stuff. And his content is just, he's not someone who's looking to monetize too, right? That's him. That's just him.
A natural funny man.
Yeah, that's just him, bro. Like he's just like that. Those are angry.
Yeah, true. I think Kudacha Misa I think he's one of the pioneers of the comedy world in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
There's another dude that we have to talk about though.
Okay.
This guy is funny as hell.
Okay.
Man's in the UK. Munashe.
Zambia. Nah, Munashe.
We discuss soon. Wait,
no, Munashe.
There's Munashe and there's this other big guy. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, that guy as well. Yeah. Those two are doing it big in the UK and Zambia as well. Exactly.
Yeah,
the big guy.
Munashe, I'm a fan. He's hilarious for me for days. He's funny as hell for me.
He did a song. Guys, do you remember all these childhood songs? What song did he do?
Exactly. Yeah, and you made it into R&B. It's funny.
No, so Bati, this is how it works when you're not in Zim. You go on YouTube and then you look for funny Zimbabwean whatever or Zimbabwean comedians, and then you watch video after video. That's when you end up seeing this Bibichi type of thing.
Yeah.
She's also she has a different market. She's doing what she's doing. She's I don't want to lie. I laughed at some of the stuff. She is quite funny. She is coming up. What I don't understand is, Madam Boss is a comedian. My Titi is a comedian too. I don't know.
I can't relate to that.
I never got onto those twos. I think they're really funny. A lot of people find them funny. My sister loves Madam Boss and My Titi. Like, I think they've also got their niche as well. Like,
big niche,
they didn't do for me. It failed. It failed me.
They've got their people who think they're hilarious, which is so power to them. Power to them.
And you know what I like is you see, content has different, has a different profile audience, right? Each and every content. So each and every comedian has a different profile audience. So I see My TT with 2,000 people on live, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's My TT with her people. She has people that log in to watch her. There are people that are probably in her situation or people that really like her content. So she has those kind of people, and it's so Madam Boss has got her different people too. She's got her skits with the husband, and I think it's a little bit of a, they kind of work together. He's the manager and stuff, and then now she's got it works, right? And then it opens doors for other women out there to come up with their content too, and show us, because I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, just because what I want to put across is just because you have content doesn't mean that you have to capture everyone. You will have your own 3,000 or maybe 1 million, right? People in that whole bubble, in your own world, that are your fans. So it's that whole platform to say, it's like, bring your content. There's a way to monetize it. Show it to the people. I think that's what we just need to promote right now, because look at all these people that are just coming up. We didn't know them. Yeah. And we're just getting, someone is now advertising. Someone is not advertising. Now that's money in their pocket. That's money in their pocket.
These guys, they keep doing amazing stuff. And I feel like our comedy genre in terms of Zimbabwe is changing, and it's becoming it's going more and more on an international aspect. Because I know I've heard with Madam Boss and My TT, they actually go and do shows in UK. Kudachamisa is doing his stuff in Australia. He travels actually to meet his fans and do shows all over the world. So you see that they're doing it, that they're having an impact all over the world, which I feel like is very good. So definitely, if they are listening, I would definitely say, yo, keep on keeping on, man. You guys are fire. We love your stuff. Like, we are going crazy with your stuff. Like, I'm one of those guys where at 3 a.m. Instead of looking at those guys who are fishing the coke, getting in front of them, I'll be looking at Madam Boss and Comic Pasta. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd rather do that. So the more material you give us, the happier we will be, and we will definitely always keep supporting the material. Always.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Mas eu não sei. But guys, I can't do this alone. I need your feedback too. So apart from just subscribing, we need your feedback too, right? Because I'm the chief whip, remember? But anyway, for now,